So in reply to my last video where I talk about how a memory is an imaginal act, aka something that we create from, this particular person asked the question, is it Delulu to change the memories to something positive? Absolutely not. As a matter of fact, it's highly encouraged. Let's talk about it. Did you know that 70% of the thoughts you think are recycled thoughts throughout the day? That means that you spend a good portion of your waking hours replaying things that happened in the past, even if it was just 5 minutes ago. Research also shows that 50% of what we remember is a lie because it's often fabricated. Our human brains were not designed to actually hold on to every detail of what we are experiencing with our five senses. And so what it does is it creates from imagination things to fill in the gaps. So you might think you're remembering something that happened and your brain is being creative to fill in what it doesn't fully remember. And so your memory is also a little bit faulty. So yes, you should revise your past memories, especially if they no longer serve you. Neville Goddard teaches about revision because he understood the nature of our human minds and how we would replay memories. And if we weren't conscious of what we were replaying, we would be totally unaware that we were in fact creating our lives with the memories that we continue to hold on to, because imagination is what creates, is what law of assumption teaches. For some people, this concept is kind of hard to wrap their brains around because they would rather argue for their limitations and be right about something than to understand that it doesn't really matter what the details are. What matters is what you choose to believe, because whatever you believe is what's going to be true for you. Neville also understood this, and this is why he said, give no meaning to what you experience to the five senses, and instead go into your imagination and revise the day. If you had anything that happened throughout your day that was not pleasing to experience, revise it before you drift off to sleep. Because if you do it just before sleep, which he calls a state akin to sleep, that is the ripest time to embed a belief into your subconscious. Your subconscious will have its guard down, and it will be easier for you to latch on to something new. So if you revise it in a way that whatever happened actually transpired in a favorable way, in the way that you would have preferred, your subconscious does not know the difference between what is real and what is imagined. When you are using a technique like revision to align yourself with your highest ideals, you are actually helping in more ways than you realize. In my previous video, I talked about how your feelings might be contradicting your desires. And a lot of times the reason your feelings contradict your desires is because you are continuing to replay dissatisfying memories. So if you have unpleasant memories on the topic that relates to your desire, then it's no wonder why your emotions are not in alignment with what you desire. And in order to get your emotions in alignment with what you desire, it behooves you to actually revise the day or revise the memory into something that's more favorable. Because again, it's not about arguing for your limitations. It's about getting your beliefs in alignment. Forget the details. Focus more on how you want to feel in relation to your desire. Focus on how you want to feel in relation to what it is you may be wanting to revise. And when you revise it in a way that gives you that feeling, then that is what puts you in alignment, not just mentally with your thoughts, but also emotionally with your feelings. Because feeling gets the blessing. Reverend Ike taught you, and BC Starks did too. I don't know who needs to hear this, but thank you, sis, for this comment. This is your reminder. You got this.